Ready to donate a few more minutes of your life to my unofficial public service of chaotic nonsense? Because, my friends, today's boyfriend found out a secret that hurts absolutely nobody. And he responded like she'd been running an underground spy ring out of her browser history. Be honest, would you stay with someone who turns your joy into a joke, then calls you too sensitive when you flinch?
Here's the setup, and yes, it's messier than a group chat after somebody posts screenshots. She's a legit writer with published work, paid columns, and bills covered by words. Her secret is a pseudonymous fanfiction blog, creative, playful, sometimes spicy. He discovers it, starts mocking her, escalates into public humiliation, and then, brace yourself, won't stop hovering, texting, showing up, and acting like her imagination is somehow his property. Stick with me, my friends, because the reveal isn't just what he found, it's why he needed to control it.
So do the thing. Subscribe, like, comment. Share this with your most nosy bestie who treats drama like cardio. And grab a coffee and join me in this absurd story. Let's go.
Her name in this story is Leah, because we're doing full anonymity, and we're not feeding the internet anyone's real-life breadcrumbs. Leah lived in a small apartment that always smelled faintly like coffee and printer paper. Her desk was a war zone of sticky notes, half-charged pens, and a laptop that had seen more emotional labor than most group projects. She was the kind of writer people pretend to support until they realize writing is actually work. She had a published book reel cover, real ISBN, real relatives asking, "So when does the movie happen?" She also wrote short pieces for a local paper, the kind you read while waiting for your order, and then suddenly you're like, why am I tearing up over a paragraph about a rainy sidewalk? Leah could do that. She could make ordinary things feel alive. And still, despite being a serious writer, Leah had a secret corner of the internet. A blog. An old, quiet blog with a simple layout and a loyal little audience scattered across time zones. A pseudonym. A wall between her real name and her creative playground. On that blog, Leah wrote fanfiction. Yes, fanfiction. And before anyone starts clutching pearls like they're about to faint onto a fainting couch, let's be clear, Leah wasn't writing self-insert fantasies where everyone falls in love with a mysterious new character with violet eyes. She wrote what-if stories. What if the villain got a second chance? What if the hero made the wrong choice? What if the scene we all yelled at the screen about went differently? Sometimes it was sweet. Sometimes it was tragic. Sometimes it was spicy. And honestly, the spicy part wasn't even the point. The point was that Leah felt free there. And freedom, my friends, tends to attract the weirdest kind of jealousy. Leah also didn't grow up speaking English. She learned it young, painfully young, because the fandom she loved didn't exist in her native language. No translations. No local writers. No community. So she did what a stubborn, brilliant kid does. She learned the language to get to the stories. Then she learned it well enough to write her own. That fanfiction blog wasn't just a hobby. It was a ladder. It taught her rhythm, voice, dialogue, pacing. It became a lifeline later when she needed work and had skills but not connections. Fanfiction didn't ruin her. It built her. Enter Marco. Marco was her boyfriend, charming in that polished way. The kind of guy who knew how to order at a restaurant like he belonged there. The kind who could compliment your outfit and make you feel chosen. The kind who said, "I'm proud of you," in public. And then, in private, occasionally made you feel smaller. Not always. Not at first. At first, Marco seemed supportive. He loved that she had a published book.
He told people about it.
He posted photos of her typing with captions like, "My girl working hard." He even praised a spicy scene in her book once, grinning like a teenage boy who thinks he's sophisticated now. But, my friends, there's a difference between praising a spicy scene in a novel he can brag about, and seeing a blog where strangers comment, reblog, and lose their minds over her words. That's when something in him shifted. The discovery happened in the dumbest way, of course. Leah forgot to clear her browser history. Not because she was hiding an affair. Not because she was doing anything illegal. It was habit. Old childhood habit. Family computer. Curious kid. Parental surveillance. You learn to delete your tracks the way you learn to lock the door, automatically. That day she didn't. She was exhausted. Shed spent hours writing a column draft, rewriting the same paragraph like it owed her money, and answering emails from an editor who thought deadlines were suggestions. She closed her laptop and showered. Marco was on the couch. He said he grabbed her laptop to put on music. And when he opened the browser, the search bar suggested the blog, the pseudonym, the whole secret life. Leah walked back into the room, hair damp, towel twisted around her like armor. And Marco was laughing. Not a cute chuckle. A full laugh. Like he'd found something ridiculous. "Oh my God," he said, holding the laptop like it was evidence. Are you one of those Tumblr girls?" Leah froze. Her stomach did that slow drop, like the first second of a roller coaster you didn't agree to ride. She tried to laugh too, because she wasn't fragile. She could take a joke. She'd teased friends about old writing before. She wasn't ashamed, but she was suddenly exposed. "What did you find my blog?" she asked. Marco turned the screen toward her. He read one of her titles out loud, and he read it with a voice that made it sound cheap. Cringe. Embarrassing. Like a parody of her. Lia's cheeks burned. "It's just something I do," she said. "For fun." Marco kept grinning. "For fun," he repeated. "So you're writing thighs on the side?" He scrolled. He clicked. He read a line, then burst out laughing again. Lia's smile stiffened. Something about being laughed at while you're standing there wet-haired and vulnerable feels ancient. Like schoolyard humiliation. Like your diary being read aloud. Leah tried to frame it calmly. She explained why she wrote. How she learned English. How it helped her craft. How it was a playground, something she did without pressure, without the weight of serious writer expectations. Marco nodded like he understood. But his eyes stayed sharp. Possessive. Like he'd found a private room in her mind, and now he wanted the key. And that's where it started. The jokes. At first they were small. A text at midday. Writing your weird smut again, Tumblr girl? A grin when she opened her laptop. Careful, don't summon your fictional boyfriend. A comment when she was cooking. So, is dinner inspired by your fanfic universe too? She laughed sometimes. Because humor is how we cope. And because she wanted to believe he was teasing, not targeting. But then it didn't stop. And my friends, when teasing doesn't stop after you ask, it stops being teasing. It becomes something else. One evening, Leah was working on a paid column for the local paper. Deadline looming. The kind of deadline that turns your brain into a buzzing little hornet nest. Marco leaned over her shoulder. Read a line. Then said, loud and cheerful, "Ah, look at you. Writing for the newspaper or writing for your little club of thirsty fangirls." Lia's fingers stopped. She stared at the screen, not because she couldn't respond, but because she needed one extra second to control her face. "Don't say it like that," she said, measured. Marco laughed. "Relax, it's a joke." Leah turned to him. "I'm not laughing." Marco blinked, surprised. "You're so sensitive lately." My friends. That phrase. You're so sensitive. It's the most convenient way to pretend the problem is your reaction, not their behavior. Leah tried to explain it again. That it mattered to her. That it was personal. That mocking her writing felt like mocking her mind. Marco shrugged. "I'm just messing with you," he said. "If you can't handle it, that's on you." And something in Leah snapped, not rage, not screaming. Clarity. She closed the laptop. Stood up. Walked to the door. "Leave," she said. Marco stared. "What?" "Leave," she repeated. "Now." He laughed like she was kidding. "I was joking." Leah pointed at the door. "Go." He left confused and irritated, as if she'd committed a crime against his sense of humor. Leah stood there in silence, heart thumping, palms sweating. She hated how much it hurt. Not because she was ashamed of fanfiction. Because she was realizing the person who claimed to love her enjoyed making her feel small. Now, you'd think that would be the end. A clean break. A conversation. A reset. But no. Because the universe looked at Lia's situation and said, let's add a family subplot. Let's make this a whole season. Leah had an older sister, Val. Val was a culinary wizard. Not in a she makes good pasta way. In a she can smell a dish once and tell you the ingredients way. She could taste something and say, "There's sumac in this." She could recreate a childhood recipe from a single memory. She could turn leftovers into something that felt like a five-star apology. And Val's boyfriend was Evan, Marco's brother.
Yes.
The families were intertwined. Because chaos loves efficiency. Evan had his own problem. He treated Val's talent like a service. He called it a compliment. He framed it as practical. He said things like, "Why go out when you cook better than restaurants?" And from far away, that might sound sweet. But in real life, it meant Val did the shopping, prepping, cooking, and cleaning. And Evan called it date night. My friends, the bar was not on the floor. The bar was digging. A week after Leah kicked Marco out, their mother hosted a family lunch. Classic food fixes everything energy. The group chat message said, "Sunday lunch. Everyone comes. Leah, bring Marco." Leah said no. Mom asked why. Leah said later. Mom, running on pure parental denial, said,
"Come anyway. Family."
So Leah went. Val was in the kitchen, stirring a pot, jaw set. She looked at Leah and immediately clocked the tension. "You okay?" Val asked. Leah hesitated. "Marco found my blog." Val didn't even blink.
"And he's being weird about it," Val guessed.
Leah nodded. Val let out a short laugh. "Men and their fragile little egos," she said. Evan walked in right then, inhaling the air like a cartoon character. "Babe, that smells insane," he said. "Seriously, why would we ever eat out?" Val didn't smile. "Because I'm not a restaurant," she said. Evan laughed as if she was joking. She wasn't. Then Marco arrived, smiling like everything was normal. He kissed Lias' mother's cheek, shook hands with Lias' father, and leaned close to Leah, whispering, "Hey, Tumblr girl." Lias' spine went rigid. Val saw it. Val's eyes narrowed. She asked Marco to help set the table with a smile that could cut glass. Marco complied, awkward. Evan chuckled, because Evan thought women being uncomfortable was banter. They sat. They ate. Conversations stayed light. Until Marco decided he needed attention. He leaned back and said loud, "So you all know Leah writes things, right?" Lias' mother smiled proudly. "Yes, she's a writer." Marco grinned. "No, I mean other things." Lias' stomach dropped. Val put down her fork slowly. "Marco," Leah said, warning. He waved his hand. "Oh, come on. It's funny."
"She has a secret blog."
Lias' mother frowned. "A blog? About what?" Marco smiled wider. "About characters you know doing things." Lias' mother looked horrified. Her father coughed and stared at his plate. Evan made a nervous little laugh. Val stared at Marco like had spit in the food. "Are you trying to humiliate my sister at our family table?" Val asked, voice low. Marco flushed. "No, I'm joking." Val tilted her head. "For who? For you?" Leah stood up. Chair scraping. "I'm leaving," she said. Her mother reached out.
"Leah."
Leah shook her head.
"No."
Marco grabbed for her arm. Leah jerked away. "Don't touch me." Val stood too. "Marco, get out," Val said. Evan opened his mouth. "Isn't that a bit?" Val's eyes snapped to him. "Shut up," she said. "Your brother is being cruel." Leah walked out into cold air, breathing hard. Her phone buzzed before she even reached her car. "Marco, you're overreacting." Leah blocked him. The next morning, Marco appeared outside Lias' apartment building with flowers. Because of course. Men like him treat flowers like a cheat code. Like a bouquet can erase disrespect. Leah didn't open the door. He texted.
He called.
He texted again. He started using that tone that sounds sweet but smells like entitlement.
"I just want to talk. I'm sorry, okay?"
"Stop being dramatic." He didn't stop. And that's the title, isn't it? He wouldn't leave her alone. Leah finally agreed to meet him at a cafe public, bright, with people around. Because instincts exist for a reason, my friends. Marco showed up irritated, not remorseful. "You embarrass me in front of your family," he said immediately. Leah stared at him. "You humiliated me first." Marco rolled his eyes. "Oh my God. Over fanfiction?" Leah inhaled slowly.
It's not over fanfiction, she said.
It's over respect. Marco snorted a little laugh through his nose like she was ridiculous. That sound alone could end relationships.
You're being sensitive, he said.
Leah leaned forward. Why does this bother you so much? She asked. Tell me the truth. Marco tried to dodge.
It doesn't bother me.
It's just cringe. Leah didn't move.
No, she said.
You're obsessed.
Why?
Marco's jaw tightened. And then finally admitted it. I don't like you writing those scenes, he said. The spicy ones? Leah asked. Marco nodded. Because people read them, he said. They comment. They like them. Leah waited. Marco's eyes flickered with something ugly. I know how guys think, he said. They're going to get the wrong idea about you. Leah's face went still. What idea? She asked. Marco hesitated. Then said it. They'll think you're easy. Leah didn't explode. She didn't slap him. She just looked at him like she was seeing his skeleton for the first time. So you think writing desire makes me easy, she said softly. Marco backpedaled. No, I didn't mean. Yes, you did, Leah cut in. You just don't like how it sounds out loud. Marco tried to turn it into control disguised as care. I'm protecting you, he said. You're putting yourself out there. Leah shook her head. I'm writing under a pseudonym, she said. And even if I wasn't, it's still art. Marco leaned forward, voice sharper. Everything would be fine if you just stopped writing that stuff. There it was. The offer. The deal. Make yourself smaller, so I feel bigger. Leah's mouth twisted into a humorless smile. No, she said. Marco blinked.
What?
No, she repeated. I'm not changing my imagination to soothe your insecurity. Marco's expression hardened. So, you're choosing fanfiction over me? Leah's eyes stayed steady. I'm choosing myself over you, she said. She stood up. Marco reached for her wrist. Leah pulled back fast. Don't touch me, she said. It was a joke, he said again, desperate. Leah looked down at him. That's the problem, she said. It wasn't. She walked out. Leah went home and did two things immediately. She changed her blog URL. She tightened privacy. She changed passwords. Not because she was ashamed. Because boundaries are not shame. Boundaries are safety. And Marco? Marco did not accept no. He called from new numbers. He messaged through apps she barely used. He tried to get to her, through her mother. He showed up near her building. He sent long texts that swung between apology and accusation like a pendulum. I miss you. You're ruining us. You're making me look bad. My friends, that last one? That's the real fear. Not that he hurt her. That he'd be seen hurting her. Meanwhile, Val's situation with Evan detonated in the most internet way possible. Because Evan, bless his clueless soul, decided to post online asking if he was wrong. He wrote a long, self-satisfied rant about how his girlfriend cooked better than restaurants. How he didn't see the point of date nights out. How they only went to a couple places. How he suggested, for their anniversary, that she cook sushi at home. Because saving money. He described Val like a perk. Like a subscription. Like, I have my own private chef. The internet annihilated him. And, honestly, for once, humanity did a group project correctly. But it didn't stop there. Someone recognized details. Someone sent it to Val. Val read it. And something in her broke not her spirit, but her willingness. That night she made casserole. Not her usual magic. Just casserole.
Beige. Sad.
Efficient. Evan ate and said it's fine. Val smiled.
Great, she said.
Because you're going to have it a lot. Evan laughed. He thought she was joking. My friends, she wasn't. Day after day, casserole. Evan got confused. Then annoyed. Then panicked. And then, like a man who just realized the stove doesn't cook by itself, he snapped. Are you punishing me? He demanded. Val dropped the serving spoon so hard it clanged. Do you seriously think I like eating at that place you mentioned? She shouted. Evan went pale. What post? He tried. Val laughed sharp, hurt.
Oh, she said.
So, you're not just selfish. You're cowardly too. They separated for a while. Not dramatic screaming. Just distance. A quiet frost. Because when a woman stops trying, the room gets cold fast. Now guess who tried to mediate? Marco. Of course. Marco showed up to Evan like some kind of emotionally unqualified life coach. He told his brother, "They're overreacting. They don't understand humor. They get sensitive when you call them out." And Evan, desperate, guilty, afraid, listened. Because some men will take advice from a traffic cone if it validates them. And Marco? Marco used that validation like fuel. It made him feel right. It made him feel powerful. And it made him pursue Leah even harder. Because now he wasn't just losing control over one woman. He was watching women in the family collectively refuse to shrink. And that terrified him. One night, Leah left her building to buy bread. Simple errand. Normal life. And she saw him, Marco, across the street. Standing still. Watching. Not waving. Not approaching. Just waiting to be noticed. Lia's body went cold. That's the part nobody talks about when they say just block him. Blocking doesn't stop a presence. Blocking doesn't stop a stare. Blocking doesn't stop the way your stomach drops when you realize someone thinks access to you is negotiable. Leah turned around, went back inside, locked her door, sat on the floor with her back against it, breathing like she'd run a marathon. What would you do in my place? Because that moment seeing him changes something. It turns annoyance into fear. It turns he's being dramatic into he's not respecting reality. And Leah hated that. She hated that he stole safety from her. The next day, Val came over with groceries and the kind of face that says, "Talk
Now."
Val looked at Leah and immediately understood.
"He's still bothering you," Val said.
Leah nodded. Val exhaled hard.
"Okay," Val said.
"We're doing strategy." Lia's voice cracked. "I just want peace." Val sat beside her.
"I know," Val said.
But peace doesn't come from hoping a controlling man grows empathy overnight. Val asked to see the messages. Leah showed her. Val's eyes darkened with every line.
"He's punishing you," Val said.
"Because you said no." Leah swallowed. "And he's trying to make you feel ashamed," Val continued, "because shame makes people easier to control." Leah stared at the floor. Val nudged her shoulder. "And you're not easy," Val said. "You're not small. You're just tired." Lia's eyes watered. Val pointed at the laptop on the coffee table. "Right," Val said. Leah shook her head. "I can't," she whispered. "My brain feels crowded." Val leaned in. "Then you clear it the way you always do," she said. With words. So Leah did something brave. She wrote a column for the local paper. Not about fanfiction. Not about Marco. About the line between teasing and humiliation. About how just joking becomes a weapon when the target begs you to stop. About how creative people learn to hide because the world loves to consume art but hates the artist when the artist is vulnerable. The column hit a nerve. People shared it, commented, messaged her. And among the comments, one anonymous profile wrote, "Thank you. I needed this today." Val, being Val meaning curious and chaotic, clicked the profile. She frowned. The username felt familiar. Val searched her memory like a detective who lives for plot twists. Then Val's eyes widened. "Wait," Val said slowly. "That username, that's like his mom." Leah blinked. "His mom?" Val nodded. "I've seen that name before," Val said. "In a recipe group. Years ago." Leah stared. Val's lips curled into a grin. "My friends," Val whispered like she was about to pull a rabbit out of a hat. "The universe is cooking." Val messaged Marco's mother. Casual. Polite.
"Hi.
"Did you read Lia's column?" The reply came fast.
"Yes."
"She writes beautifully." Val typed. "Do you read fanfiction?" A pause. Long enough for Lia's heart to start tap dancing. Then, a little. Val typed again. "Do you know an author named Golden Mist?" That was Lia's pseudonym in this story. Leah made a strangled sound.
"Val."
Val held up a finger. And then the reply came. "Oh my goodness. I love her. She's my favorite."
"Why?"
Leah covered her mouth. Val's eyes sparkled with vindication. And both of them started laughing, half shock, half relief, half "are you kidding me?" Because the man calling Leah a Tumblr girl came from a home where his mother adored Lias writing. My friends, you cannot write irony this clean. Now, did that magically fix Marco?
No.
But it did change the board. Because 2 days later, Marco showed up at Lias' workplace, the local paper office. Yes, my friends, he crossed that line. He walked in with a folder in his hand like he was bringing evidence to court. He smiled at the receptionist like he belonged there. He asked to see Leah. Leah stood up the moment she saw him. Her boss looked up confused. Marco said loudly, "I just need to talk to her." Lias' voice was steady.
No.
Marco blinked like he couldn't compute the concept. What do you mean, no? Leah didn't step closer. I mean, you need to leave. Marco lowered his voice, trying to sound wounded. You're making me look like a monster. Lias' eyes didn't soften.
You're doing that yourself, she said.
Marco opened the folder and pulled out printed pages. Printed pages of Lias' fanfiction. My friends, he printed her writing like it was a police report. He held it up like leverage. If you want to talk to me, he started ill. Leah cut in, voice calm like a blade. You'll what?
She asked.
Tell people I write? Marco's mouth tightened. You don't understand what this does to me, he hissed.
To you?
Leah repeated. You're the one stalking and humiliating me. He tried to speak again. And right then chef's kiss timing the phone in his pocket rang. Marco looked at the screen and went pale.
Mom.
He answered.
Hi, Mom.
We couldn't hear her voice, but we didn't need to. Marco's face changed in real time. His shoulders dropped. His eyes darted. His ego started evaporating. Yes, Mom.
No, Mom.
I didn't mean. He looked at Leah like she'd summoned a demon. He hung up. His voice came out small. My mom wants to talk to you, he muttered. Leah blinked once.
Does she?
Marco swallowed. She said she loves your writing, he admitted. And if I keep acting like a jealous idiot, she's going to personally embarrass me for the rest of my life. Val appeared at the door at that exact moment with a coffee, because Val is basically a plot device with perfect timing. Val raised the cup like a toast. Mis amigos, she murmured, I love a woman with taste. Leah almost laughed. Marco stood there holding printed pages, like had brought a bucket of dirt to a fancy event. Leah spoke clearly. Marco, she said, stop.
Don't contact me. Don't come near me. Don't try to shame me.
My imagination is not your territory. Marco opened his mouth. Leah cut him off. If you show up again, she said, I'll make this official. Marco's eyes flickered. He finally understood there were consequences beyond she's mad. He left. The office stayed silent for a beat. Then someone exhaled like they'd been holding their breath the whole time.
Se você chegou até aqui, apoie com o like.
Because my friends, if you're still here, you're invested and I need to know you're alive in the comments. And tell me right now, at what point would you have snapped? The Tumblr girl whisper? The family table humiliation? The printed pages at the workplace? Be real. After that, things didn't become perfect overnight. But they got clearer. Leah started documenting everything. Screenshots.
Dates. Times.
Not because she wanted revenge. Because she wanted protection. Val helped her tighten her routines. Different routes home. No sharing location. Friends aware. A neighbor on standby. The annoying reality is that women often have to become their own security team when a man refuses to accept no. Leah also did something important. She kept writing. Not as a performance. As a refusal. Because stopping would have meant Marco won. And Leah was done handing trophies to insecure men. She wrote her column. She wrote her paid pieces. She wrote her novel draft. And, yes, she wrote fanfiction too. Because her joy didn't need to be approved. Meanwhile, Evan tried to crawl back from his internet humiliation. He booked a fancy dinner for Val. He bought flowers. He apologized in a voice that sounded rehearsed, but at least it existed. Val listened.
She ate.
She nodded. And then Evan, high on the idea that a single nice dinner erases a pattern, pulled out a ring. In the restaurant. With that hopeful, panicked smile. Val stared at the box. Then looked up at him.
And said calmly, no.
The whole restaurant energy shifted. Evan's face fell. Val didn't yell. She didn't shame him. She just said it like a boundary.
No.
Evan whispered, "Why?" Val's eyes stayed steady. "Because I'm not committing to a one-sided relationship," she said. "Not anymore." Evan looked like he'd been slapped by reality. Val continued. "If you want a future, it changes for real," she said. "Not because you got embarrassed online. Because you understand." Evan swallowed and nodded. He suggested counseling. Val agreed. But she didn't soften the standard. "My friends, that's growth. That's a woman who learned not to reward last-minute effort with lifelong commitment." And Leah? Leah finally got a call that reminded her who she was outside of Marcos' noise. An editor or a small press contact had read her column and wanted to see more. They asked for a proposal. A manuscript sample.
A pitch.
Lia's hands shook while she sent it. Because confidence gets bruised when someone you love mocks your mind. But she sent it anyway. And the reply came enthusiastic. Not a movie deal. Not a billionaire contract. But validation. Momentum. A door cracking open. When Leah told Val, Val hugged her so hard Leah laughed.
See?
Val whispered. "You're growing." That's what he was afraid of. Marco tried one last time to reinsert himself. From another new number. "You're writing about me. You're making me look bad." Leah stared at the message. And for a second, she felt that old instinct to explain. To soothe. To negotiate. Then she deleted it. Blocked the number. And went back to her draft. Because Leah wasn't responsible for making him comfortable with the truth. A few weeks later, Marco's mother asked Leah to meet for coffee. Yes, we're living in a multiverse where the twist is the mom is the fandom ally. Leah went with Val, because Val was not letting her walk into anything alone. Marco's mother showed up looking nervous and sincere. She apologized not for Marco's choices, but for the pattern. Then she said something that landed heavy. "I used to write too," she admitted. "Poems. Stories. When I was young." Val's eyes widened. Leah listened. "He made fun of me," Marco's mother said quietly. "My husband. He called it silly." I stopped. Lia's throat tightened. Marco's mother looked down at her coffee. "When I read your writing," she said, "I felt proud and angry. Because my son was repeating the same cruelty." She looked up at Leah, eyes glossy. "Don't stop," she said. "Don't let a man shrink you." Leah nodded slowly. "I want," she said. "And my friends, that moment? That was bigger than drama. That was generational repair." Months later, Leah finished the first full draft of her next book. She titled it something quietly petty and perfect. Just joking. Because that's what cruel people say when you catch them being cruel. Just joking. Val read the draft and laughed and cried, and then sent Leah a voice note like, "My friends, this is going to destroy Peepline a good way." Leah updated her blog again, new URL, new layers of privacy, same voice. She posted a new story and watched the comments roll in. Support.
Love.
People saying, "I feel seen." And in the middle, one comment from a familiar username.
Keep going.
"You're brilliant." Leah smiled. Because for the first time in a long time, she felt safe inside her own mind. So, here's my question. My friends, because I'm not letting you leave without emotional homework. What would you do in my place? Would you forgive a partner who humiliated you publicly after you asked them to stop? Would you accept I was kidding as an apology when the behavior kept repeating? Would you shrink your art to soothe someone else's insecurity? And what do you think was the wildest part, the printed fanfiction at her job or the plot twist of the mom being a secret fan?
Comment below, my friends. I need to know what you would do in this situation. Like the video, share it with your favorite chaos goblin, and drop your verdict in the comments. Because I need to read what you do with a man who thinks your imagination belongs to him.